to remedy the situation by organizing skill acquisition training programs, for people who are affected. And also, if they can give loans to start businesses or something like that, I think it will help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Wobidi.
Yes.
Look at the environment again.
Yeah.
We are all guilty of the environment, of polluting the environment. As an environmentalist, can you tell us about the specific ways where human beings are polluting the environment and what is the way out?
Well, I'm going to respond by taking a stance that may surprise people. Pollution, like he rightly put it, we are all responsible. Take, for instance, River State. PHED, or power generation, is one problem we have. If you don't have power in your house, the option you have is to put on a generator. And when you put on a generator, like he rightly said, the oil will pollute the exact spot where you put it, and the emission from the exhaust will alter the air quality in the environment. That alone has created one problem. So we are talking about climate change for peace, because I had to drag this in intentionally, because we can't be talking of peace when there are basic things that the people should have that they don't have. If you have adequate power supply in your homes, there will be less pollution, and when there is less pollution, the climate change risk or scenario will be reduced.
So who do we have to blame here for the power supply?
Who have to blame those who took concession that they're going to generate power or distribute power, and they can't distribute it effectively, are the people who have to blame. Whoever they are, we have to hold them responsible.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from the perspective of the topic or the theme, climate change for peace. These are some of the issues. This is just one issue. He talked about artisanal refinery and what was happening in the creek. That is also one problem. We are all responsible, because it started from it's just illegal bunkering. What were the values we laid down for our children? The generation before, what were we didn't get our values right, our priorities right. People didn't give attention to things we were supposed to give attention to. So it led to, it's like they resolved to self-help, had to go, whether they burst the pipe themselves or it's due to equipment failure, only God knows. But what we're saying is that they have resorted to help themselves by refining the crude themselves, and where they are caught, of course, if the tanker, as the case may be, is set ablaze, the consequence too. The atmosphere is even polluted the more. So these are some of the environmental factors that I am tying to the theme that is negating peace.
Okay, so everybody has a role to play here.
We all have a role to play.
Now let's come back home.
Peace.
Mr. Fineface, let's look at the organic cleanup. After all the agitations and stuff, the organic cleanup was flagged off on the 2nd of June 2019. But before we take that, we'll have a little vox pop on the organic cleanup before we go ahead. Let's listen to this.
Okay, I would like to take you back to 2011 when the president was represented by his vice, and to the excitement of our people, the Ogoni people, the United Nations Environmental Program reports was flagged off for implementation. And during the said flag off, the federal government stated that the implementation of the reports will be done holistically in a manner that ensures transparency, accountability, genuine partnership, and proper representation of the people at the grassroots, as well as creating job opportunities for young people. They also said during that flag off that agro-allied industry requires for processing agricultural produce to be put in place. These are the promises of federal government. However, 3 years down the line, and the laudable assurance is given, we are concerned that the manner and the process for the implementation of the reports run completely counter to the assurances given by the federal government, and more importantly, the very recommendations of the UNEP report. I want to let you understand that on the pages of the reports, it was stressed that while the overall environmental situation in Ogoni land needs urgent and focused attention before cleaning up the existing pollution and restoring the environment, the UNEP recommended a number of emergency and public health measures that must be first addressed. Sorry that I may take you a little bit into these measures.
Yes,
and they include provision of adequate sources of drinking water to Ogoni people. That was categorized as emergency measure. And it also includes posting of signs in areas where hydrocarbons are observed to be on surface water and warning people not to swim, fish, or bathe in those areas. It further says that the agency that will clean the land, not HARCOURT anyway, that is the Ogoni Environmental Restoration Authority. You know, that was what was recommended. The federal government went and set up HARCOURT. And the report says that agency should ensure that everyone who has consumed water from contaminated sources is required to undertake a comprehensive medical examination by physicians knowledgeable about the possible adverse effects of the hydrocarbon detected. I'm trying to quote the net verbatim so that we get it right. Now, it went further to say that that there should be a comprehensive decommissioning of oil facilities in Ogoni land that has failed integrity management test. That is the corroded facilities that they used in the past in that land. The recommendations are many, but let me take you to very key ones, apart from the emergency measures. UNEP recommended that all sources of ongoing contamination, including artisanal refining, should be brought to a swift end. And for that purpose, for that singular purpose, the sum of $10 million was recommended to create alternative employment for those in artisanal refining. Reason being that you cannot be cleaning land and people will be doing, these are our normal oil bunkering. They call it bullfire.
Yes.
Because it contributes to, in fact, it's one of the major causes of pollution outside the oil theft and all that, and negligence by the oil industry and the owners of the asset. These were the recommendations of UNEP. Another one that UNEP recommended was the creation of the Integrated Contaminated Soil Management Center. And UNEP said in that their report that the center will be a modern industrial enterprise in Ogoni land that would employ hundreds of people and that would drive the process because they are trying to remediate the soil. And without that center, you cannot carry out, cleanup exercise. But to our greatest chagrin, my brother, none of these I have mentioned and others, none has been done.
Okay.
HARCOURT is not implementing the recommendations of UNEP. I don't really know what they're implementing. And
see, from all indication, the organic cleanup is becoming a fluke. Do you have something to say about what you just
the
heard?
organic cleanup actually started on June 2nd, 2016, when it was flagged up by the Vice President at the time, Osibanjo, and they have been taking steps to, see what they can do to address the environmental challenges in that part of, the Niger Delta. And I think that what the speaker there has said, I think I know his name, that should be Yama Banalemosi, the president of Ogoni Youth Federation, who is actually in court with HARCOURT over those issues he has raised. The HARCOURT is going in to clean without putting those other things in place. And in one of my reports I wrote in 2016, I actually titled it Cleaning in a Vacuum. Cleaning in the vacuum, in the sense that HIPREP is proceeding into the cleanup without putting those measures he has mentioned, those emergency measures he has mentioned in place. So that is an act of cleaning in a vacuum that when we put together that report. But whatever it is, I think comparing what is happening now to what happened before June 2nd, 2016, when it was flagged off. That is to say, the period between 2011, the report we are talking about now was released on August 4, 2011. Between that time and June 2nd, when it was flagged off, very little was achieved. 2016. Very little was achieved by the Jonathan administration. But the Buhari administration has taken some commendable steps to addressing these issues. But despite the steps that they have taken, it's just like putting the cart before the horse. They didn't start from where UNEP recommended they should start from, because you cannot begin to steer the environment, clean the soil without addressing issues that relates to provision of potable drinking water, because the cleaning itself will also lead to the introduction of some chemicals into the environment in addition to the already polluted environment. So you need to take certain steps that will provide water for the people, provide health audit for the people, and then also be able to put together those institutions like the Contaminated Soil Management Center and the Center of Excellence, where the manpower needed to carry out the cleanup will be done. Today we have crisis in Ogoniland.
Okay,
let's
play down on that.
Okay.
Let's just examine how far the cleanup has gone. Mr. Wobi, do you want to add your voice to? You have one or two things to add on the cleanup?
Frankly, if you ask me, I will say the Ogoni cleanup has been coordinated by HIPREP at the moment. It's on. And that I want to say categorically that the entire exercise is a process. And when a thing is a process, it's not instantaneous, it's not immediate. It's not like supply where you go to market, you buy something today, you deliver, you said you've delivered. And I want to believe that the processes are on. It will be too early for me to pass judgment now, because I think the authorities concerned are at it.
Okay. Now let's come to mother in the house, the owner of Peace Child Nigeria. What is the relationship between your organization, Peace Child Nigeria, and promotion of peace in the nation? What have you done so far, especially as the world celebrated yesterday, International Peace Day?
Yeah. Well, for the past 28 years, we celebrate International Day of Peace every year. And we do that by organizing either conferences, students' peace conferences, or seminars, as the case may be. And we try to highlight the importance of, righteousness. Righteousness exalts a nation. Righteousness exalts a nation, okay? And moral rectitude and love. Without love is a principle, one of the powerful instruments for peace. You have to love one another. That's a mandate. Love one another and promote unity wherever you are. Peaceful coexistence. And these are carried out through musical concerts. And as we invite schools to come for this program, when these students get back to their schools, they relate to other students what they've learned, and that's how we communicate.
More like catching them young.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Fineface, before we open the mic to our listener to add their voices to what we're saying, what more do you have to say about the relationship of the climate and observing peace in the nation? How can we as human beings, because all of us are guilty of depleting the environment, what can we do to make up for what we have done, the ills in the society?
Well, we can do a lot. The number one thing we can all do is just like what we are doing here now, to create awareness, to talk to people on how they should live and how they should keep their environment clean and not contribute to, climate change and environmental challenges. The government too, they need to try as much as possible to embrace green economy.
What do you mean by green
economy takes us to renewable energy, not to depend solely on hydrocarbon, petrol, and diesel, kerosene for all what we do. We need to tilt towards renewable energy by embracing things like letting people have stove that run on, all those biofuel, and also being able to have
What do you mean by biofuel, please?
Biofuel is a kind of product that is environmentally friendly, that is used in stove and other things to cook.
So what kind of products are those?
There are experts on that train people.
Maybe
Even now, there are NGOs that are doing that.
Okay.
And on my own part too, we are also putting together training that will train the young people to move from those who are involved in this fire that is causing environmental problem. We are training them to stop that and embrace acts of establishing modular refinery which can contribute to environmental friendly and sustainability, and then move to renewable energy, and then go into renewable energy proper, going into that as a skill that can make them to have money on their own without having to go into coal fire. Because if they go into some of those things, it will help them not to get involved in acts that will destroy our environment.
Okay, Mr. Wobidi, I wanted to say coal fire. Sorry for that, Mr. Wobidi. So what can we as individuals do to have a better climate, a better environment? What can the man on the street do to make sure? Because we've contributed in polluting our environment. The oil companies did their own as well. But what can we as average Nigerians do to save our climate from depleting further?
Well, like he rightly said, as much as possible, we should develop renewable energy use strategy.
When you talk about renewable energy, how do you explain it to the average man on the street?
Improve energy efficiency, switch from coal and oil to natural gas. And there was something he was trying to talk about.
Sorry, before you say that, what is natural gas?
Okay, let me come this way.
Because you're talking to professors, this medium now, professors are hearing you. The woman selling pepper in the market is hearing you. So you have to bring it down as much as possible to the understanding of everyone.
Okay, let me
say renewable energy.
Yes.
Gas.
Energy.
Is it the gas we cook with?
It's the gas we cook with, but let me break it down.
Okay.
He was trying to tell us something about natural gas or the use of natural gas. There's something they call if you pack heaps of waste, garden waste, if you dig a well, as to say, create a hole, for every day you generate waste from your kitchen, you dump it there. From your garden, you dump it there. All the kitchen waste. And you connect a pipe from that thing, from that pit, to an outlet where, to some distance, believe you me, if you put matches there from that pipe, you get natural gas, and that is generated by the methane that is being
from the heap of refuse.
From the heap of refuse, that is the metabolic, the degrading activity of the heap of the waste. So that is what when he was trying to talk about. We should try and go natural, because the government can harness this. Of course, it's there. The technology is there. They know it. For instance, if Songhai rivers didn't go down, they were working on things like that, and it could have been. You should know you are from the Goni axis. They were working on things like that. It could have gone a long way to help as much as possible to reduce these climate challenges that we have. And these are some of the things.
So, in the absence of that, what can we do? Fine face.
Yeah, I just want to add to that, to tell you that we are really pushing to making sure that people don't depend on this energy that is destroying our environment. On the 7th of next month, we are carrying out this training in Bayelsa State for people that are involved in this. And in December 2019, we'll do that training in Rivers State for youth to move away from hydrocarbon to renewable energy as a way of contributing to this climate change wahala we have, so that we can move to green energy that will help us to make our environment and our climate to be safe.
Now, apart from what you're doing in your corner, what have you done to reach out to the government, to partner with the government?
Well, we've been talking to the government, and I think several times we'll be talking to the government. Today is 22nd of September 2019. On the 22nd of September 2016, I was in the United Nations addressing world leaders on this issue, climate change, environmental issues. I was there, and that was where I met with the president, and we spoke on this issue, and I pushed them. It was part of what led to the commencement of the cleanup too, because one of my demands that the environment should be cleaned, because the continuous pollution is contributing to climate change issues. So I believe that we are talking to the government at all times, that we have opportunity like this offered by stations like yours. So, but the issue is that the government is not being responsive to some of the awareness we are creating and the need for them to take action. The government is fond of taxing people instead of them to tax the real polluters. Look, what we are having today in the red world, whereby we talk about carbon credits, is a situation whereby those who are producing the equipment we use here should continue to pollute, and then they pay tax, and then they believe that they will come to the third world, buy forest here that we serve as sink for the pollution there. That is not the way to go about climate change. That is a kind of farce. How we should go about this is that tax the company that is polluting heavily. That will force them to change their method of energy into renewable energy, and then our climate will begin to regain its strength and freedom from the current trap and conflict it is facing in the hands of industrial and industrialized nations.
All right, the program is Women Voices of Peace, and today we're dwelling on the International Peace Day, celebrated worldwide yesterday, and today we're commemorating the day in our own way by creating awareness about living in peace vis-a-vis taking care of our climate as human beings. So we have 2 lines for calls and text messages too. 0908-220-3447. We just have 15 minutes to take calls. 0908-220-3447 and 0810-589-2307. 0810-589-2307 and 0908-220-3447. These are the numbers to call if you want to lend your voice to this discussion. How can we maintain peace in Nigeria in the face of all the challenges we're having in our nation? Contribute in the spirit of the International Peace Day. 0908-220-3447 and 0810-589-2307. Now, despite all odds, Mr. Wobi, despite all the challenges, what else can the average Nigerian do to create peace in your little space where you are? Because this thing about peace is, if you stay in peace, I stay in peace, there will be peace in the nation. Despite all the challenges around us, despite all the pollution matters, what can we do as individuals?
What we can do as individuals is to try in our own little way to ensure that we don't trample on the right of the environment, because the environment itself has a right.
What do you mean by the right of the environment?
Because, for instance, the way we try as much as we can to curtail or stay away from unsustainable pattern of life or living, the way we dispose our waste, the way the type of vehicles we put on the way, our attitude towards the next person. We try and do the right thing at the right time.
Tell us about the type of vehicles that we should put on the way.
The type of vehicles are vehicles that the combustion and emission should be acceptable by all standards. That is what we mean by that.
Combustion and emission.
It's difficult to quantify, but that is what I mean by the type of vehicle.
Can you break it down? Combustion and emission. How? What part of the car are we talking about when we talk about combustion and emission?
The smokes that comes from the exhaust.
Simple matter. Okay, so what are you saying about the smoke?
It has to be, as much as possible, a lead-free smoke.
Lead-free smoke. How?
Yes. Because most times when you're buying gasoline, you are advised to buy lead-free gasoline. And if a lead-free gasoline is bought and the process of combustion emits smoke to the atmosphere and the environment, the synergistic effect of this smoke is going to create more problems for the environment. And in that situation, you find out that in the cities, if you take the air quality measurement, or the air quality index, you find out that most of the cities, the VOCs or the amount of dissolved gases are usually very high, far above what the standard stipulates.
You're speaking in technical terms right now.
Sorry.
But are you saying, okay, we'll have a caller online. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, okay. All right, keep trying. The lines are 0810. Let me take the number again. Okay, 0908-220-3447 is the number to call if you want to contribute to the discussion. Remember, we're talking about peace. How can we maintain peace in our nation? How can we maintain peace wherever we find ourselves? 0908-220-3447. We have a call. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Oh, we lost the call. Okay. 0908-220-3447. We have another call. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. Okay, Mr. Wobidi, we're talking about combustion, emission. Is it that people should not drive cars with smoke? Or put it in the simple term? If your car is smoking, put it up the road.
Put it off the road. If the road safeties were doing their work, if your car is smoking, put it off the road.
Okay.
We'll try as much as possible to plant trees.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and where are you calling from? I don't know what is happening to the lines today. We have another call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. We're calling you from Eche.
All right, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon to your distinguished guest.
Thank you. Go ahead. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Looks like we're having network issues. Hello. Hello. Well, time is almost up. So, let's talk to the director of Peace Child Nigeria. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Okay, I think we should forget about the calls for now until maybe lines are taken care of. So, what can we do as human beings, to sustain peace and take care of our environment? I'm talking to you.
Yeah, all we have to do is, as far as schools are concerned, to set up peace clubs.
Peace clubs.
Peace clubs in secondary schools. And in peace clubs, they go through so many things like academic excellence, that is, avoiding examination malpractices and, showing love to one another, which is very important.
Okay.
Because without love, you cannot achieve peace.
Okay, Mr. Fineface, we're wrapping up right now.
Yeah.
Way out of all this crisis in the nation right now.
The way
How
out
can we
is
sustain peace?
we will continue to create awareness. Yesterday we were on the street. Today we are in the studio. Keep talking to people.
Tell us about the activities
Yeah,
you
the
carried
activities
out.
yesterday were very important. We invited people. We all gathered as human rights activists, human rights defenders, lovers of peace, climate change experts. The civil society came out in their numbers. Even the the Red Cross also came out. The road safety were also there. We walked from Rumuala up to Isagboro Park in town, and we preach peace and we talk to people to embrace peace and then try as much as they can to keep their environment clean so that it does not contribute to climate trouble that we have. Because the disaster we see in other parts of the world, it is visited on us in Nigeria. We'll all finish. So we are calling on people to keep their environment clean so that we can continue to have a better future, a better environment that will not threaten peace. Justice should be the key thing. If you live in the community, try for justice to reign. Don't cheat the next person. If there was an agreement, stand by the agreement. Our judicial system too must contribute to peace in this part of the world. It is very important for people to get justice from the system and not for only those who have money to pay to get justice from the system. They must be neutral and be the hope of the common man for justice and peace to reign in our society.
Okay. Mr. Wobidi, what can we do for peace to reign?
Reach sustainable environmental practices at all times.
Now, I want you to be very practical because you're an expert here. How can we take care of our environment to avoid pollution? What kind of lifestyles do people engage in which negates the, taking care of our environment? And how can we take care of that?
Well, firstly, since the theme is climate change, climate for peace, it's advised that we nurture trees where we have them or plant one where we don't have.
Okay. Planting of trees?
Yes. In terms of waste management, for if we should try as much as we can to reduce the waste we generate, reuse or recycle our wastes. And of course, that most of these wastes, most times when they're thrown at random, end up in the drains. And these drains, most times when they either in the drains or in the open dumps, and when they are burnt, the plastic content of this waste, what is released to the atmosphere, is really not good enough because it culminates with the climate crisis.
So you're saying that people should stop dumping plastics?
They should stop dumping plastics as much as possible. If they can sort their waste, if the government can take it up as much as possible, it's not just about having a waste management authority. Sorting of waste is imperative and extremely very important. If we try it, even if on a pilot scale, it will go a long way and it will reduce some of these global catastrophe and consequences that we have here and there. So that is one thing. Another thing I will advise is we try as much as we can to use energy bulbs. And I think our attitude,
energy bulb and not,
yes.
What about the fluorescent?
The fluorescent is okay, but energy bulb is more, because if you check the wattage that this thing is consuming, there are these recent ones that the wattage is extremely very low but very bright. That is what we advocate as much as possible.
Okay, you have more things to tell us?
Well,
you're the specialist here.
But the truth is, above all, our value system. Because the government and even the individuals could put these things in place. But if we are not trained or have the mental readiness to imbibe these cultures, it will be effort and futility.
Okay. Maybe Mother, Peace Child, you have something to add? Just a few words.
Just to round up. Can I just render a Peace Child anthem?
Okay. Go ahead. You can sit down and do it.
Sit down.
No, I'll sing better when I stand up.
Just briefly, because
time is.
Love is the answer to the world, we say. Love, amazing love, is the answer to the world. Love your neighbor as yourself and be your brother's keeper, and the world will be a peaceful place for all. Love your neighbor as yourself and be your brother's keeper, and the world will be a pleasant place for all.
Thank you, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can squeeze in this call. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Oh, so bad. All right, and at this point, we'll have to wrap up the program. This program is sponsored by ONAH, West Africa Network for Peace Building. They're the sponsors of this program. Thank you very much, ONAH, for giving us this platform. And I want to thank my guests in the house. It's been nice having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for all the callers who were making attempts to reach us but couldn't because of the lines, so sorry about that. Maybe next week we'll pray it to be better. And I have guys here working with me. My producer, Glory Peters. Glory Iwe, thank you very much. Aniete Akpan has been wonderful. Has been behind the scene, making sure things work out well. Thank you, Aniete Akpan. And Lucy Chibo is the anchor on duty. Thank you very much for your support. My name is Rachel Ona. On behalf of ONAH Nigeria, thank you so much for being there. Next week at 2 o'clock, God willing, we'll be here with you. Good afternoon and bye now.